hell's going on in that cyborg brain of yours? God, I hate you.
Alright, Sam and Bucky, I know you two are dealing with a lot right now. Sam, you're trying to cope with coming back to a world after being blipped while struggling with the Captain America legacy, while Bucky, you're just trying to get through a simple date without running away at the mention of your dark past. But I need you guys to focus. The Flag Smashers are here and want to cause mass chaos, so you need to step up. Though, who exactly are these new villains and how do they relate to the comics? Here's everything you need to know right now. There's just no rest for being a hero, huh? I mean, it's clear that both Bucky and Sam have enough problems going on that you don't even have to have any action to make the Falcon and the Winter Soldier a compelling show. Sure, watching Sam worry about money issues and Bucky reckon with his past would turn this into a CBS family drama with superheroes, but I still think it would make for a great watch. But then we'd miss out on some classic world-ending shenanigans that have become a staple for the MCU. And things won't stay like this for long. Evil is gathering their forces. One of the main villain groups that are rising up in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier are the mysterious Flag Smashers. So what do we know about them so far? From the first episode, we know they're highly organized, they might have a few super soldiers in their ranks, and they love wearing funny masks. Thanks to Joaquin Torres, who got a little too up close and personal with the Flag Smashers for probably anyone's liking, we know the general goal for this group. In a few words, organized chaos. Yeah, that sounds about right. These radicals believe that life was better off during the blip and generally want a world that's unified without any borders. And hey, I'm not saying Thanos was right or anything like that, but I will say I could see how there's a group who liked things better at half population. I mean, lines at Disneyland were probably only half as long, you know, the wait at the nearest Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out Burger, or the DMV was cut in half, and traffic was probably less of an issue. Again, that all comes at the cost of losing a lot of your friends and loved ones, but hey, take your perks where you can get them, right? Now, I'm not totally sure how the whole
world that's unified without borders
ties into liking life post-blip, because don't the two seem counterintuitive of each other? If you want one unified world, doesn't it seem like you want all the blip people back? Everyone in the blip seems sad and isolated, not very united. And when I say everyone in the blip, I obviously just mean the Russo cameo guy and Cap's support group. He's the closest we got to see how everyday people were dealing with the snap. So how do the Flag Smashers fight for these things? It's all so unclear. Could someone please point me to one of their hidden clues that you can spot through augmented reality software that we use through our phones so I can attend one of their meetings? Much appreciated. So we know the Flag Smashers are a direct response to the snap, which overall I think is really interesting. It shows how every action will have an opposite reaction, and it goes back to what Vision was saying in Civil War about how their existence warrants conflict. Every good thing the Avengers do always seems to create new bad guys, and the Flag Smashers seem a very worthy follow-up to what's come before. But how do the Flag Smashers compare to the comics? Well, actually, it looks like the show is doing something really unique with the adaptation. You see, in the comics, Flag Smasher wasn't a group, it was one person. Carl Morgenthau was the son of a diplomat who, after an experience where he lost his father, he became the terrorist known as Flag Smasher, with the goal of liberating Earth from the concept of nationalism. Kind of a tough task for one person, don't you think? But it does look like we will have a version of Carl Morgenthau in the show, just not the way you'd expect. In the credits, the red-haired woman who we see handing out the masks with the red hand palm emblazoned on them in the first episode is actress Erin Kellyman, who's credited as Carly Morgenthau, spelled K-A-R-L-I. So it looks like the MCU is gender-swapping the original character. And I wonder, when they were deciding on names for Carl's gender-swapped character, I wonder who had the bright idea to just put an I at the end of Carl to make it Carly. Although people may not like them switching Flag Smasher from one person to a group of people, maybe it's just easier that way. In the comics, Flag Smasher does form the group known as Ultimatum, which stands for the Underground Liberated Totally Integrated Mobile Army to United Mankind. Man, they couldn't think of a better T word than totally. But hey, at least you know exactly what they do when you hear the acronym. The MCU seems to be streamlining that a bit, with Carly Morgenthau just forming the group called Flag Smashers. But I think the biggest question about this group is actually the presence of an apparent super soldier. When poor Torres tried to get information about the group, he accidentally took part in a special bank robbery. Don't ya hate it when that happens? And when he tried to get the main masked man under arrest, the man responded by almost killing Torres with a flick of his wrist. Definitely seems like super soldiers or some sorts, doesn't it? The question is this big guy the only one? I doubt it. The trailers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier show Bucky having trouble fighting a few of these guys, which means they're probably all powered up. For all we know, Carly could be powered up too, given how in the trailer Sam jokes to Bucky how the little girl kicked his butt. Where are they getting their power supply from? Finding out more about this group will be the most interesting thing about this show going forward, because we not only learn about a group of people who were presumably left behind during the snap, but also get a glimpse of how the world coped in those 5 years. And here's another big question about the Flag Smashers. How do the show's other antagonists fit in? Because on top of Flag Smashers who want a revolution, you have the returning Baron Zemo who looks to be the ultimate big bad of the season. Is he out of jail right now, or are the Flag Smashers going to break him out? Is he working with them right now, or is he against their radical methods? Given that Zemo wants an even world without superheroes and the Flag Smashers want an open world, it sounds like the two would work together if they're not already. And how does US Agent, aka John Walker, aka the new Captain America, fit into it all? Well, we might be in for another clever adaptation here. In the comics, Flag Smasher was created as kind of an anti-Red Skull, meaning anti-fascism and the extreme other side of the spectrum. Since a Red Skull is currently soaking up the sun on Vormir and catching up on his reading, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks like it's using the new Captain America as this new ultra-patriotic force, while having the Flag Smashers set up on the other side of things opposing it. It's going to make for some compelling drama because stuck right in the middle of it all is Sam and Bucky. Because, yeah, I talked about how interesting the Flag Smashers are on their own, but really what will make them the most compelling villains is how they challenge Sam and Bucky's beliefs. Sam is currently coping with a bit of imposter syndrome by not thinking he's ready to be the new Captain America, while realizing the world is going to do nothing to help him or his family because of the blip. That, coupled with the fact that he's probably going to have some thoughts on the new Captain America John Walker, might make him at least understand what the Flag Smashers want. On the flip side, Bucky is desperately trying to get redemption for his past actions and to make amends with his violent past, but is having trouble. He seems to be under the thumb of the government and forced to go to these therapy meetings and make amends according to the US government standards. Could you blame him for maybe agreeing on the less government control aspect of the Flag Smashers? I think both of our main stars can learn a lot from this villainous group, and it makes the group the best possible villains for the two to face. Here's hoping they deliver on the high expectations, right? And please, if you see them, tell them to please leave Torres alone. He's been through enough. Look, I know they're supposed to be the main villains and everything, but you think the Flag Smashers could just cool it for a bit? I really want Sam to solve his money problems and Bucky to continue therapy, and these new baddies are making it difficult for them. Geez, bad guys, have some respect.